Great. Welcome, everyone. This is the Community Foundation's monthly Let's Talk, part of our series that we've been doing since 2020. When the pandemic started, it was an opportunity to connect and learn more about the needs and opportunities in our community. We have plans to put these a little bit on a diet in 2023 because it's wonderful. We're all connecting in person again. And some of our networking is happening out in the community. But today we're pleased that our new YMCA director, Christie, has joined us. She is going to tell us a little bit more about the YMCA and what's happening there, as well as welcome her to the community. So if we're all ready to go, today I'd like to hand this over to Christie Thornton, our YMCA director.
Thank you, Nancy. It's so nice to present for Community Connections today. Receiving the call from Gloria back in August, my first month during my transition, was just warm and gracious, and she invited me to this, and December seemed so far off, and here we are. So I will begin my presentation. And I always begin with building a better us, or a phrase like it, because I truly believe if you live in a state of maintenance, pretty soon you will have nothing left to maintain. And consistently improving yourself or evaluating does not necessarily mean exhausting yourself or the staff, but it does mean listening and seeking development options on a continual basis. So I always start, whether it's a board meeting or a staff meeting, with a PowerPoint just like this. So the YMCA is all about the focus and core values. And as you can see, I don't use stock photos. Every photo that you see in the presentation is people within our community. So folks, children of our community. And this is important because the Y is for youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. Our core values are the caring, honesty, respect, and responsibility. In the statement that we are too important to our community to not position ourselves not to be the best that we can be, is a powerful statement for our board and our staff. It reminds them that the individuals, families, children count on us every day, whether it's for childcare, to fulfill a social need, to have a safe place after school, or just come to our pool to relieve some kind of chronic pain that they may be in. Remembering that our mission can reignite the passion of why we do the things that we do. It's more than a job, and it's more than a volunteer position. So to talk a little bit about new leadership for the Y is important, because, you know, every leader that comes to the Y brings a little bit about themselves. And we know we have one of the leaders on the call today. We had Paul Grinnell for 30 years. And Paul, I've had lunch with him several times. Wonderful guy. And we have Frank Towner, who was there for 10 years, another wonderful guy. And then we have Christie Thornton. We all bring something very, very different. And so I thought it would be important to talk a little bit about what this newest leader brings to the table. So I've been with the YMCA for about 10 years, and I came from one association, so I didn't hop around. And my background is coming from that association, and it's a Western New York association, probably about 2.5 hours west from here. So I started as a part-time employee in accounting and philanthropy support. I moved on to a CEO assistant, and then director of association initiatives, which is, I always laugh at that title because I still don't know what it was. The YMCA is great about just making up job titles. But it was all about supporting, you know, we had 3 branches, and just all about supporting initiatives, any initiative that we came up with or I came up with. I then moved on to the executive director of our largest branch, which was a little bit bigger than this one here in Ithaca. And then I moved on to the director of operations, which oversaw all 3 branches, 4 after-school sites, and a family play center. The YMCA association that I came from, the strengths were really youth programming, whether it was in-house, recreation sites over the summer at school, or taking the Y to local parks and having recreation sites there, philanthropy and childcare. So that is the strengths that I'm able to bring to this YMCA. So when I came, one thing that was really important is recognizing the effects of the pandemic. So the pandemic challenged YMCAs and their leaders, as well as every person and not-for-profit and business across the globe, in ways that no one could be prepared for. The pandemic also challenged YMCAs on how to come out of the pandemic. And this is not unique to YMCAs, it's unique across the board. But positive lessons from the pandemic were that it taught us that Ys do not have to come with walls. It taught us that the Y's mission and cause is so much further than inside the walls of the YMCA. And it also reminded us that the YMCA is about the people. Our seniors, our children, our families, and adults that miss the staff and what we're able to offer every single day. So, and why do I talk about that? I talk about that because my arrival and recognizing those effects of the pandemic is really important. So our Y here continue to operate feeling these effects. Some Ys had continued on successfully, some Ys had not. Our Y was in the middle of a transition, and it held itself there very successfully, really using the benefits of the community and the community that loved this Y and still does love this Y, but being in the middle of a transition of looking for a CEO and coming out of the pandemic, it really was in that transition mode. So what was the next step? How does it come out of a transition and how does it come out of feeling the effects of the pandemic? And that's where I come in and really helping move that needle of what does this YMCA need, and understanding that meeting the needs of our community and our business model has to change because of course we have to operate like a business, but our business is people, so we have the same bills as a business, but our heart is about our people. And so coming up with how do we do that is really, really important. And as a membership organization, we have to see how do we come out of this the best. And so coming up with some strategies in place is really, really important. And understanding the individuals that we serve, the members who rely on us, and the staff we employ is always going to be a top priority. So coming up with a couple strategies around membership, philanthropy, I got it, and budgetary and financial sustainability are our three main buckets, as with most kind of businesses, not for profits. So membership strategies and everything has to be around business and community. It's really important because our community is so important to us. So adding membership value through programs and services. And I'll talk a little bit in a minute how membership organizations changed so drastically during COVID, if we didn't already know that. And then ensuring our mission behind our financial assistance program is shared with members and throughout the community. So making sure that everyone in our community automatically knows that they can afford the Y, regardless of whether they think they can or not. That is the main priority here, is that everybody who thinks they want to belong to the Y knows that they can, because that is our mission, that is our cause. And then behind philanthropy strategies is instituting a strategic involved training program, ensuring that all board staff and volunteers feel confident and supported throughout the campaign, that they know why they're raising money for the YMCA, and they know that they can go in and throughout the community feeling confident about what the Y does with that money, how it supports the YMCA, and how the YMCA supports the community. And then building off this model will help increase our capacity each year to continue to expand our membership programs, our childcare and financial assistance, assuring that everyone is able to learn, grow, belong, and thrive at the Ithaca YMCA. Those are very important behind the YMCA's mission and cause here in Ithaca. So the challenges of the membership organizations is COVID hits. No one knows how long it's going to last. No one knows, there's toilet paper shortages, we all remember it. We don't want to relive it. But individuals and families had to analyze what was necessary and important in their lives according to value. And thank goodness, the YMCA has a long-standing history of 154 years with solid leaders caring for the community, because it's that care and understanding that kept the Y open. But understanding how people have to make that choice behind them. And membership really takes a turn, because it's no longer a building that make people come for a membership, and there's an article that I kind of linked in there, and this is an exact slide that I used with staff training when I first got here, is forever and transaction. They seem like two words that don't go together, but they do. It's that moment when a visitor comes, takes off her consumer hat and dons a member hat, and stops looking for alternatives. It's when they say, it'd be silly not to make this place a part of my regular habits. I get so much value from this organization, and their mission aligns perfectly with mine. And that matters everywhere they go, whether it's a store, whether it's a membership organization, whether it's a place that they just randomly order from. They want their rational value and their emotional value. So the cost and their experience, their convenience and their identity. So someone coming to the Y to work out, they also want to make sure that their mission aligns with ours, or that their convenience, that their child may have a class, a kinder club class to go to during their favorite group exercise class. These are really things that changes a member's thought process around the Y. And these are things that the staff and I are working on, because it's no longer, the building is no longer an asset when it comes to member benefit. So these are some of the things that that we're working on here at the Y, and I'd like to share with you. So we took all this information, incentives, rewards, and what does it mean to be a member? Anybody can come to the Y and buy a day pass. Anybody can come to the Y and take swim lessons. And we understand, we live by a lake. These swim lessons really change people's lives. We teach swim safety. But what is the difference between a member who truly values the Y, and what is the difference between someone who comes in with a day pass? Because this is what keeps our Y alive and making a difference within our community, of course. And that's the difference. Members want to belong to the Y. They take that ownership to the Y. They want to pick up a paper towel. They want to tell us what we could do better, versus someone that just comes in for the day. That's the difference between a member and a visitor. And it's important to us that we fill this Y with members, because they care just like we do. And so how do we do that? Of course. And so we did a brainstorming, a brainstorming session, and this is what it could look like. What is it that could get these brainstorming ideas? Could it be reading with dogs on a Saturday for kids? And how do we bring seniors and connect them with technology where they could Zoom with family across the United States? Is it a ropes building course? Is it a family play center, which we are actually working on? Kids in the kitchen. What is it that we could change a little bit? We have great spaces. How could we use them? And, just thinking outside the box. And so the staff have been very open, very willing, very excited, quite honestly, because now's the time. New leadership means new ideas. And what has it worked in the past? And let's bring them back. It's always a great time to just look at things differently. So let's take a look at that. So all of the things old and new at the Y, because now's the time. So youth programming, when I talk about the why without walls, what does that look like? We have tons of great parks, and we know that transportation is an issue. So this summer, does it look like a YMCA sports on the go, or a YMCA in a bag, where we could go to local parks and set up where 10 o'clock on a Wednesday at one of our local parks, the YMCA could hold a program through the summer. Things such as that is things that we're looking at here. And looking for grants, things like that we could really utilize. But right now, basketball, wide world of sports, I know, is something that worked wonderful here. Soccer, aquatic swim lessons is an old standby. Water polo is something new that they're really looking forward to starting. Wellness, we've worked in family Zumba and family yoga and kids fit. And then under the miscellaneous, YMCA play group in the evenings, and kinder club, an art clinic, looking for supplies, things like that, because we know not every child wants to play sports. Not every kid loves the pool, but what are some other things around that? So not even getting into summer yet. For adults, this is one of my favorite members. Her name is Tony. She's wonderful. I'm sure Frank knows her. So we have all the sports, bringing back badminton that hasn't been up for a while. Table tennis, so extremely popular. I've never seen it, but we have 8 to 9 tables, and they're out on a Saturday. They love it. One of our seniors runs it, and he extremely enjoys it. Pickleball, racquetball, pickup basketball is coming back in the winter. Very busy. The master swimming, lap swimming, all of the aquatics classes, the group exercise classes. Gunner, he does a wonderful job with the evidence-based health initiatives. So we have arthritis classes, obesity classes, blood pressure, and then at-risk fall classes. So with balance, we have a January weight loss program coming up, almost an intro to the health, our wellness floor class coming up, which shows how to use each machine, get what you're looking for out of your weight loss plan. So are you looking more for learning how to use the machines? Are you looking more as an intro to group exercise? And then, of course, our personal training. So childcare, we have the before and after school care at Groton and Cassavant. We have after school here at the YMCA. And of course, we have summer childcare. And then a lot of people may or may not be aware of the YMCA Neighborhood Food Hub. Our very own Teresa Morehouse worked very, very hard on this during COVID, and one of our racquetball courts is completely refurbished as a food hub. So it is completely lined with shelving and freezers and refrigerators, and we are fully funded and partnered with the Southern Tier Food Bank. So we get deliveries once a month, and it is a sizable delivery. And we also get deliveries from Tops, Wegmans, and I know there's another place that I'm not thinking of, but every Monday and Friday, we have community members that need help with groceries. And I can say we've served well over 1,800 community members this year alone. And, we're talking single parents, low income families, we're talking seniors, some that don't speak English, some that they just need the help. It's really amazing to see, truly. And then our events, we have several community events. So Healthy Kids Day is an amazing community event that is open and free to the community. The other one I was so lucky to be here for is the Trunk or Treat event. Hundreds and hundreds of families are here. We work closely with TCAT to make sure that everyone has transportation to it. So TCAT will provide free transportation as well as a spooky bus for the event that they bring up that families can walk through. But people, they start to line up, and we're talking hundreds of families come for this event. So some are, family member only, but we have several that are open and to the community. So we'll have, whether it's, there's a couple that aren't on here. So whether it's a kickoff to summer community event, or whether it's the back to school event that will be open to the community. But you can see we make sure that we have plenty of events. The other slide that I wanted to share, must be I have something going on, sorry. The other slide that I wanted to share is, because I did talk about philanthropy, is how annual campaign supports programs and services. So we have the YMCA Active and Ageless membership program. So we have, I want to say 86 single senior memberships that are 85 folks that are 85 and older on a membership that get a free membership. And then we have, I want to say 14 couples that are 85 and older on a membership. So this is all made possible by our annual campaign, and they fully enjoy their memberships. I will pass them on the stairs, and I am not kidding you. I'm here several hours a week, and there is one fellow, he is 88, and he can barely walk, but he tells me how he just did 7 miles on the bike. I don't think I can do 7 miles on one of our recumbent bikes, but he does 7 miles a day on the recumbent bike, and he is a member through our Active and Ageless program. So that's one of the amazing things that we're able to do through the annual campaign. So our active older adult and programs and evidence-based health initiatives are supported through the annual campaign. Our community events are supported through there. It helps offset our costs for neighborhood food hubs. So yes, the food is supported through the Southern Tier food bank and through our donations, but we staff it. It supports how much it costs energy wise, things such as that. Childcare assistance, we have $5 senior days, which means every Thursday we set out coffee, cookies. Every senior can come enjoy the Y for the day for $5. It's something that they absolutely love. We have Every Kid Deserves a Y program, which is an amazing opportunity that any teen or older child, that if they come in and they say, unfortunately, I cannot afford the Y, but I truly want a YMCA membership, we will set them up with a free membership without question. So if their mom can't afford it, but they ride the bus here after Lansing and they really would love a Y membership and they cannot afford it, we don't question it. We understand that every kid deserves a Y. Membership financial assistance and program assistance. So these are all things that are supported through our annual campaign. My last slide is how to get involved and be a part of the Y movement. And of course, be a member, be a member. So anybody was sleeping, wake up, be a member. Being a member supports us on a daily basis. It keeps our door open. It pays our staff, our utility bills. It's all of those things that keeps us open. Donating allows the Y to stand true to our mission and our causes by ensuring that those less fortunate can benefit by what the Y can offer. And volunteers bring their own stories and ideas to the Y. Volunteers consist of coaches, board and committee members, annual campaign members, and greeters. Those are the things that make the Y the Y. My husband tells everybody he meets that he lost his wife to the Y a long time ago, because it really has my heart. It speaks to my heart, and it just is what it is. And I've only known the Y for 10 years and I'm this passionate about it, but it's true. I really truly believe everything that it encompasses. And so being a member, donating, or volunteering, or you can work for us. We always need staff. That's another one I should have put on it. I keep trying to get Frank to be a lifeguard.
Fantastic, Christy. That is some great information. I learned some things today. First of all, I can't wait to be 85. Free membership. Something to look forward to. I did not know you were doing a food hub in the racquetball court. That sounds fabulous. What I heard you say is the YMCA is the heart, or the people are the heart of the YMCA. And I think that's a wonderful way to express it, and that you're doing your best to make it affordable. I know transportation is often an issue. I had one question which had to do with childcare, and is it a full day childcare, or is it just when you're there working out or using the facilities?
So we have child watch and stay and play, which is in the morning and the evening. So while you're here, and I do believe we have, where you can leave for a little bit, like a couple hours where you can leave. You don't necessarily have to be in the building, which is very different at most Ys. And then our other childcare is, after school and before school, which is licensed childcare.
It's great. Very good feedback on that. And then I know there's a picture you had in the ropes course. Is that course on the Route 79?
Those were just brainstorming ideas. So trying to get the staff kind of thinking about what our future holds. Yeah, so we don't have a ropes course. Sorry to get anybody excited.
Okay.
But just trying to brainstorm ideas. We have beautiful walking trails on the outdoor education center, and we have tons of different kind of things out there. They have what's called a natural playground and not ropes courses, trails to walk, and a few other things out there. I know that I just learned today that they had set up like maybe 3 disc golf holes. So we might be pursuing that in the near future, but there's tons of ideas to do out there.
It's a lot of land. It's over 100 acres. I love that. And anyone can go out and walk those trails when it's not hunting season or youth programs, summer programs. Great.
Yeah.
So you've been with the Y for a long time, and I'm wondering what is a difference between maybe the Western New York YMCA and the Ithaca YMCA? Is there anything that jumps out at you?
I think community changes wherever you go. And the Ithaca community, super welcoming, super lovely. But community needs are different, and community expectations are very different. So for example, where this community is very, and I think, say because of the lake, where transportation is very different here, aquatics needs are very different here. Industrial, like commercial versus residential is very different here versus, where I came from. So it changes, maybe how you look at the needs or the expectations or how you would approach something. So I rely very heavily on the staff here for, for certain things, because what may have worked someplace else may not work here the same, so the staff are really great about, this may work, this may not work, because I can't expect things to just be, well, this has worked before, because it may not be the same. So those would be my biggest things that I look at differently. But, at the end of the day, though, some member expectations are the same, cleanliness, friendliness of staff, those kind of deliveries you're going to find to be the same. Those kind of member expectations.
Well, this has been a wonderful presentation. I certainly learned a lot myself about how the Y is more than just the inside walls. And you were a great choice to lead a great organization. And if we don't have any more questions, or if you don't have any final last points.
I will say to George, pickleball is so fun. And I used to be athletic. I won't say that I am very anymore, but a 90-year-old lady beat me at pickleball. Actually, she was 89. She turned 90 the following week. And she was very good. But pickleball is very, very fun.
Good. Good. It's very exciting to hear all of what you're doing there, Christie, and the important value that you bring to so many in our community, and how people relate to their membership at the Y. Thank you.
And they were doing it all. I just came and kind of threw some extra in and stirred it up. I'm a stirrer. They love it. Thank you all for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Christie, and welcome to our community.
Thank you.
Have a great afternoon, everyone.
You too. Bye-bye.